Kansas City Chiefs running back Jamaal Charles, the latest big-name fantasy player to go down to injury, out for the year with a torn ACL. But don't worry, I've got his replacement and plenty more waiver wire ads for Week 6, presented by eDraft.com. Well, when it comes to replacing Jamaal Charles in your fantasy league, Charkandrick West currently tops the charts as the hot name to replace him. But trust me when I tell you, for a guy who will go anywhere from $40 to $50 to $60+ in your free agent period, he's being overvalued and will be overbid on in your league. Instead, save your money and get far better value with Knile Davis, who just last year alone had 8 touchdowns and has already proven himself in the NFL. While West will surely get his share of snaps and touches, Davis is all too but certain to be heavy into the Chiefs' offensive plans as he enters just year 3 of his NFL career at the ripe old age of 24 years old. Remember, the Chiefs use an early 3rd-round pick on Davis and are sure to keep investing in him now that the opportunity has presented itself. I'm not saying don't get West if the opportunity presents itself to you. In fact, in a perfect world, you would snag both, but as it stands now, for such an unproven commodity, West is being overvalued, while Davis stands in the shadows as a cheaper, more affordable option. This one's for all my PPR heavy homies out there in fantasy land, as New York Giants running back Shane Vereen was a pass-catching machine on Sunday night against the 49ers as he totaled 110 yards, a touchdown, and 8 catches along the way. Vereen looked like an old self back with the New England Patriots when he was Tom Brady's dump-off target. Exactly why the Giants signed him to be Eli Manning's safety valve on underneath routes as the offensive line continues to struggle more times than not, giving Manning time in the pocket and finding his receivers downfield. You never say always in the NFL, but it's almost always takes free agents a big chunk of time to get acclimated with their new surroundings on and off the field before they start to look like their old selves again. While Vereen fights for touches with Andre Williams and Rashad Jennings, his inconsistencies from week to week are starting to diminish as his role in the passing game starts to expand. As of now, in a PPR league, you have Vereen as a RB2 and or a startable player in your flex spot. Vereen is clearly the 3rd option in the Giants passing game behind Odell Beckham Jr. and Ruben Randle, who both landed on the injury report this week, only boosting the running back's importance in the Giants offense. Being owned in just 50% of leagues, scoop up Vereen whether you're in a PPR league or not if you're in dire need of a startable running back at this point, as he's got a soft 4-game schedule coming up with the Eagles, Cowboys, Saints, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, you could argue Willie Snead is the lone bright spot in the New Orleans Saints offense right now, but you can't argue his light is shining very, very bright. Snead, who was a training camp stud, has transitioned his momentum into the regular season, has quickly grown a connection rapport with quarterback Drew Brees, a guy you definitely want to stay on his good side. So far, so good for Snead in that regard, as he's already converted 30 targets into 21 catches the last 4 weeks, including week 5, which he put up big boy numbers with 6 catches for 141 yards. Brandon Cook's owners need to put on the earmuffs because in an inconsistent offense, Willie Snead is as consistent as they come and should only improve and get better given the amount of times the Saint offense is put in positions to throw the ball and come from behind, as their defense is one of the worst on all fronts in the league. Snead is only owned in 30% of leagues, but that number will double in a heartbeat, so pluck him up as quick as you can and put even more value on Snead if you're in a dynasty or keeper league. Well, if you forgot about the dazzling breakout performance by Viking receiver Stef Diggs 2 weeks ago against the league's #1 secondary, then leave it to me to remind you. In a league where guys are getting shuffled in and out on a weekly basis, Diggs' performance seems like a distant memory, but make no mistake, Diggs had a profound game in what has been a lackluster and disappointing Vikings passing attack so far this season. It took Diggs all of one game against the best defense in the league to surpass what fellow number 2 receiver Charles Johnson did in 4 weeks against the Broncos. In what was his NFL debut, Diggs already has more targets than Johnson with 10 and has the same amount of receptions now with 6. While numbers sometimes can be deceiving, I encourage you to go back and watch the tape, or trust me in what my eyes saw as Diggs made catch after catch, plucking the ball out of the air with tremendous body control and much needed aggressiveness against cornerbacks like Chris Harris and Aqib Talib. More importantly, Diggs added a shot of life into the arm of the Vikings passing attack, which has struggled thus far according to preseason expectations. This means the coaching staff will likely have no choice but to continue to plug and play the rookie standout from Maryland one way or another. While after just one good performance, I would say it would be wise to stash him on your bench and wait for the consistency to follow. However, the Vikings' next 5 opponents all rank in the bottom half of passing yards per game, including their next opponent, the Kansas City Chiefs, who ranked near dead last in multiple categories against the pass. The Vikings have had nearly 2 weeks to find ways to incorporate Diggs into the offense during their bye week, so whether you're in a standard league or dynasty format, Diggs is a juicy free agent pickup who is primed to continue to make a big impact both in the short and long-term future. Just another reminder to go with your gut, kids. Last week I had Gary Barnidge in this spot as my top tight end free agent pick of the week, only until I overthought things like many of us fantasy owners tend to do and yanked him out because, well, he plays for the Cleveland Browns and his name's Gary Barnidge. This week, though, I got no choice, and neither do you, as Barnidge not only has been one of the top and most consistent tight ends of the bunch over the past 3 weeks, he's scoring at least 13 fantasy points over that same span, and now the guy's landed on SportsCenter top 10, making freak nasty catches each and every game. While he isn't the top choice of your favorite strip cut of meat, Josh McCown is quarterback. Yeah, he's getting the job done, staying aggressive through the air. And while McCown lacks the talent and receivers on the outside, he's now grown an obvious connection with his safety valve, the tight end, Gary Barnidge, who has 24 catches with an impressive 31 targets so far. Scoop him up so you can tell your friends you beat him with something named Gary Barnidge. That's fun to say. Gary Barnidge. Guys, while I mentioned Shane Vereen and Al Davis, goes without saying, Seattle Seahawks running back Thomas Rawls is a no-brainer here as well after a monster performance against Cincinnati Bengals and the ongoing issues with Marshawn Lynch. Thomas Rawls ran the ball tough. He looks like a true NFL workhorse back. Grab him in standard leagues, and you can get some great value if you're in a keeper dynasty league as well. Other guys, if they're still available, would be receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Allen Hurns lit the world on fire the past 3 weeks. And St. Louis Rams receiver slash weapon, Tavon Austin. He scored 14 times in 33 games, and although he's inconsistent, starting to carve out a little niche and role in the Rams offense, entering now in year 3 of his NFL career. Thanks for tuning in. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Go check out eDraft.com, where they're going to match your first deposit of FanDuel money up to $200. And even more importantly, they've got some insane advanced metrics and statistics they're using to help build the perfect DFS lineup and help you win some money if you're into that thing. For everybody at eDraft Sports, I'm Luke Inman, signing out.